Ethan was 20 years old and lived in a quiet American town where the days felt slow. But the years passed quickly. He was the kind of boy everyone liked. Kind-hearted, soft-spoken, and always full of big dreams. He wanted to learn the guitar, to write stories, to build something meaningful with his life. When he spoke about the future, his eyes lit up, and people believed he was destined for something great. But Ethan had a secret enemy: procrastination. Every time he thought about starting, a single phrase escaped his lips. "I'll do it tomorrow." If the guitar collected dust in the corner, he told himself, "Tomorrow I'll practice." If his notebook sat empty, he promised, "Tomorrow I'll write something." When his room grew messy or his body grew tired, he convinced himself, "Tomorrow I'll fix it." The problem was that tomorrow never truly came. One tomorrow turned into another, and then another. Days blurred into months, and months slipped into years. Ethan was still in the same place, holding the same dreams, but never moving closer to them. Meanwhile, his friends were moving forward. Some graduated from college. Some began working at offices or starting small businesses. Others were getting engaged, traveling, or saving money. Every time Ethan scrolled through social media, he saw their smiling faces and achievements, and his chest grew heavier. Yet instead of acting, he told himself the same excuse: "I'll start tomorrow." What Ethan didn't realize was that every tomorrow he postponed was stealing his today. The world was moving forward, but he was standing still. Deep inside, he wanted to change, but fear and habit kept chaining him down. One chilly evening in late autumn, Ethan lay on the couch with his phone in hand, scrolling through endless videos. His father entered the room quietly, carrying a cup of tea. He looked at his son with concern, the same son who had once been full of energy and ideas, now wasting away in endless waiting. "Ethan," his father said gently, "do you know how many days you've lost to tomorrow?" Ethan frowned and looked up. "What do you mean, Dad?" His father sighed and sat down. "Every time you say you'll start tomorrow, you're building a wall between yourself and your future. Each day you waste becomes a brick. If you keep building that wall, one day it will be so high you won't be able to climb it." Ethan laughed nervously. "Come on, Dad. It's not that serious. I still have time." But deep down, his father's words stung. Later that night, as he lay in bed staring at the ceiling, Ethan asked himself a painful question. What have I really accomplished this year? Memories flashed through his mind: unfinished projects, abandoned attempts, missed chances. The guitar remained untouched. The notebook held only a few empty pages. His body felt weaker, his confidence smaller. For the first time, he admitted the truth. He had wasted not just days, but years. That realization kept him awake until dawn. The weight of regret pressed on his chest like a heavy stone. He knew something had to change, but he didn't know where to begin. A week later, Ethan's uncle came to visit. His uncle was a retired soldier, a man who had lived a life of discipline, commitment, and resilience. He quickly noticed the restlessness in Ethan's eyes and asked him what was wrong. Ethan sighed. "Uncle, I feel stuck. I want to do so much, but I never start. I keep saying tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. And now I feel like I've wasted years." His uncle studied him carefully. then pulled out a small pocket calendar from his bag. He handed it to Ethan. "Here," he said. "This might be the key." Ethan looked confused. "A calendar? How is this supposed to help?" His uncle leaned closer. "Listen, you don't need to change your whole life in one day. You only need to win the day in front of you. Every day, pick one small action that brings you closer to your dream. Practice for 20 minutes. Write one page. Do 10 push-ups. It doesn't matter how small, as long as you do it today." He pointed at the calendar. "Each time you finish, mark an X. Don't break the chain. One day becomes 2. 2 become 10. 10 become 30. And soon, you will see the power of small habits." Ethan hesitated. "But what if I fail one day?" His uncle smiled knowingly. "Then you start again the next day. Progress isn't about perfection, Ethan. It's about persistence. The only way to fail is to quit completely." Ethan stared at the calendar. For the first time in years, he felt a spark of possibility. Maybe change didn't have to be overwhelming. Maybe it could begin with something as simple as a single X. The next morning, Ethan woke earlier than usual. His body wanted to stay in bed, but his uncle's words rang in his ears. "Win the day in front of you." He forced himself up, dusted off the guitar, and practiced a single song for just 20 minutes. His fingers fumbled on the strings, but he didn't care. It was a start. That evening, he opened the calendar and placed a bold X on the square. For the first time in years, he felt proud of himself. The next day, he wrote one page in his notebook. It wasn't perfect, but it was his. Another X. The day after, he cleaned his messy desk. Another X. Then he added 10 push-ups in the morning. Another X. The X's began to grow. They formed a line that stretched across the page, and with each one, Ethan's sense of pride grew stronger. Some days, he stumbled. Some days, the square stayed blank. But instead of giving up, he remembered his uncle's words. "Start again tomorrow." Slowly, the small steps began to change him. His guitar skills improved. His writing became smoother. His room stayed cleaner. His body felt more alive. Most importantly, his heart felt lighter, because he was no longer waiting for tomorrow. Weeks turned into months, and Ethan's habits stacked up like bricks. But this time, instead of building a wall of regret, he was building a staircase of progress. After 3 months, he could play his favorite song without mistakes. After 6 months, he had written over 100 pages in his notebook. He had also developed a morning routine, 10 minutes of exercise, a tidy workspace, and 20 minutes of focused practice. What amazed him wasn't how big the steps were, but how small they had been. It wasn't about working for hours or making massive changes overnight. It was about consistency, showing up every day, no matter how little. 1 year later, Ethan stood in a small cafe, performing his first song in front of an audience. His hands shook, but his heart soared. A few weeks later, he uploaded his short story online, and to his surprise, strangers left comments praising his words. Ethan realized that small habits had given him something greater than skill. They had given him confidence, and confidence gave him freedom. One evening, Ethan sat with his younger cousin, who groaned about homework. "I'll do it tomorrow," the boy muttered. Ethan smiled knowingly. That's exactly what I used to say. But tomorrow never comes. He handed the boy a small notebook. Here's what I learned. You don't need to finish everything in one day. Just do one small thing today. Tomorrow will thank you. His cousin raised an eyebrow. Does it really work? Ethan nodded. Yes. Small habits may look weak, but they're stronger than talent, luck, or even intelligence. They're what turn dreams into reality. If you win the day, the future will take care of itself. The boy thought for a moment, then scribbled one math problem in his notebook. Ethan smiled, recognizing the first spark of change, the same spark that had once saved him. Dear friends, Ethan's journey reminds us of a powerful truth. Waiting for tomorrow is the fastest way to lose your life. The future doesn't begin with a giant leap. It begins with the smallest of steps taken today. So don't wait for the perfect time, because it will never come. Don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow never arrives. Start now. Start small. Start with one page, one practice, one habit. And as the days pass, those tiny steps will become a powerful force that shapes your destiny. Your tomorrow begins with today.